We are live on Podbean.
Okay. Karsten's in the waiting room. Should I let him in?
Yeah.
Actually, I got to record that because that's just too funny.
Because you beat him. Wait, you might drop him like
Yeah.
well,
Karsten's in the waiting room.
Do we
with
want
him.
Podbean to use our microphone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karsten Hagen, are you there? Uh-oh.
no.
This is
Probably
participants.
heard that snide remark.
He put it on mute. He's cooking.
Yeah, he might be. Uh-oh.
Oh, he's playing the guitar.
Wow.
What the fucking fuck? You don't play the guitar. Quit pretending you do.
I don't play the guitar.
Were you really playing the guitar?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you guys to friggin' get your late Spokane asses up online.
Where's your microphone? In the other room?
Jeez, no doubt.
Microphone? What? Hold on.
You're in a tin can about like 2 rooms over.
You sound like you're 50 feet away.
Oh, weird. Okay, hold on a second.
It's getting better, getting warmer.
I'm testing my microphone. It says that I'm good.
It might be good, but it just sounds like you're a long way away.
Oh, he's in Bend.
True, I'm in Bend. Suppress background noise. Auto. Maybe I should do.
You're not going to cook, are you?
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Somebody, no, I've been cooked for.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you sound distant. And I don't mean like you're. No, I still love you, but no, you just sound distant.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll keep talking and let's see if I can figure this out. Wow.
No, we're just going to
I
stay
guess it's-
silent and fuck with you.
I think that's your cue.
I'm going to.
It's your show. You don't have to listen to it.
Oh. Fuck, I'm in charge,
right.
aren't I?
Yep.
I'm in charge. Wait, I'm in charge?
Oh my god. The moment I've been waiting for.
Some things never fucking change. Some things never change. I got so excited, I actually didn't do the intro sponsorship reads before I hit the theme. So, I'm going to do both at the same time. Look at this. This is called improvisation. Before we begin, it's time to once again thank our friends at Gooder Sunglasses. Where else can you find absolutely brilliant stocking stuffers with names like 50 Shades of Gravy, Donkey Goggles, and a Northwest favorite, Rainier's Running Wild? Get your ass over to Gooder.com ASAP and get them while you still can, because they would make great stocking stuffers. And I don't know if you have enough time left, but it wouldn't be a bad idea. Also, big thanks to Scratch Labs, home of great tasty fuel recipes and a culture unlike any other. If your feet are cold, be sure to check out their merchandise page with nice, warm wool socks. ScratchLabs.com. This is usually when I say let's do this. This is usually when I start the theme. And then I say we are on a home stretch of our digitized Final K. The unauthorized Packfiller Virtual Recycling Classic is almost complete, and the results are about as smooth sailing as the mooring? I typed mooring. I had a joke all typed out. The results are almost about as smooth sailing as the morning after binge eating at Taco Bell. In the studio and even online are a full panel of the Packfiller. So you ready for my names? If they were attendees in the company of a Christmas company party, all right? If they were attendees at the company Christmas party, I'm not even drunk and I'm fucking up my own intro. First and foremost, the guy who drinks too much and photocopies his balls and hands the prints-outs around. Let's welcome Paul Main.
Hey, yeah, who told you?
City of Spokane.
Yeah. Word travels fast. Second of all, the quiet guy from marketing who sits in the corner, stays sober, and blackmails all the members of management with photos the next week, Jackson Dolger. Hello. Third of all, the drunk guy who showed up drunk, who stands on a chair mid-party and shouts, "You're all a bunch of complete fucking phony douchebags." Jack Broadhead's with us.
Hi.
You just took that.
I love that one.
Next,
I got the best one.
Next off is the guy with the makeshift coat hanger bent into a halo design with mistletoe hanging in front of his junk. The return of the diva, Karsten Hagen himself.
I love that one. That's great.
What's the coat hanger all about?
Well, you gotta hang
Catholic boy, it's a
you gotta
halo.
hang the mistletoe somewhere around
Oh,
your
I
cheek.
off
see.
your junk.
So people will
Gotta hang
say,
on something.
yeah, exactly. Finally, I'm Pat Bulger, the one dressed as Santa Claus with just a little bit of vomit on the beard. Gentlemen, let's get right to the most important stuff of the show, right? Jack, have you even seen your bike since January?
I did. I looked at it a couple times last night, this morning. It's right. It's in my presence, in my house.
It exists.
Not on a trainer. It's not sitting on a trainer.
Okay.
I'm thinking about moving it over to the west side, the wet side of the state, so that I can actually ride outside.
Just the bike?
Yeah.
What do you do? You have like two homes?
Yeah.
Are we finding something out about you? You seriously have two fucking homes?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Got a little river estate over in Hoquiam.
New to me.
I thought about talking to Eric, see if I can take over Vance Creek again. You guys want to promote a bike race?
Next sponsor of the Packfiller podcast, Jack Broadhead, everyone.
Anyway,
Do you
it's
really?
it's
I didn't know that.
yeah, we picked up a fixer. It's beautiful.
Wow.
Lots of work, but it's the weather over there is conducive to riding all year long. It's 38 and raining, but it's not icy usually.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Wow.
So, thought about taking it over there. I just mentioned that to the wife. She's like, I was thinking the same thing.
Wow. How often do you go back and forth? I'm learning about
Every
this.
week, every other week,
Really?
something like that. You know, like I'm over this week. I think I left last time I was here at the podcast. I
Yeah.
think I left on Friday. I was just over for the weekend, and I just got back yesterday. Yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah. I have a plane too. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I drive a lot.
Oh
so,
my God.
Yeah.
Oh man, Carson, it's been a long time since we checked in. How are things? Besides, I wish I could show your stash on the podcast right now because that's a beautiful
I'm
thing.
proud of my stash.
Yeah.
I grew it for November and just kept it.
Are you? What have you been up to, man?
Well, I've been riding.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get into the indoor riding and shit like that, but you know,
Been skiing.
I didn't get to talk to you since the Everest attempt.
Yeah, that happened. And the
You were
word
close.
the word attempt is very important here in this conversation.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't successful, but we ended up raising a lot of money. So, in that regard, it was successful.
You did a shit ton of elevation though, didn't you get? How many did you get?
18.5,
Shit.
which is more than I've ever done in one day by a
isn't it?
lot.
Isn't it 19 thou?
It's 29.
29.
No, it's 29.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only person out of the three of us that made it was Mike Stewart, who's done it twice before. He crushed it. And he was out there for 12 full hours. I think he took, 4 breaks maybe. I started going so slow that I realized that it was going to be 2 a.m. that before I finished,
Yeah.
even if I was able to stay upright. And the other guy was projectile vomiting. And so we both just hung it up.
It doesn't.
Sounds like fun.
I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. First of all, I don't like climbing enough anyway. So why the fuck go and do that?
It sounds hard when you just talk about it. And it is. But here's the thing. It's twice as hard as you think it is, and you think it's the hardest thing you could possibly do. I mean, there's nothing I can't imagine actually completing it. I'll never try it again, that's for sure.
Ugh.
It's just it's amazing. The people that say they Everested, it's amazing. Like it's quite a feat.
Good to know. Never going to do it.
Nope.
How long was your hill?
How long was the hill?
Yeah, like isn't it a K or are you doing a mile?
It was 1.5 miles,
Okay.
so I ended up doing it. Do the math somewhere.
Too many
30
fucking
times.
times.
Yeah, I did around 30.
Yeah,
Mike ended up
Jesus.
doing it 40 something.
Do you start out hard,
just-
like all cool, like
No.
I'm gonna do- okay?
You start easy and you get easier.
Yeah, you can't
you
go full
really
out.
slow.
What was your gearing?
I got it's just special for this event. I got a SRAM because I got SRAM 12 speed on my road bike, so I got a
Show off.
10. Yeah, it's a
Disc
big
brakes?
ass 5-plate cassette
Yeah, of course.
and a motor. I got a motor too.
Still couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's tough.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, my battery died.
Yeah. So,
No, it was yeah.
go for it. I don't mean to be rude and shift gears, but I have to shift gears because we're in the midst of, well, personally, I only have one stage to go of the unendorsed Packfiller Virtual Cycling Challenge. Gentlemen, how's it going so far? I'm going to hold off on Paul because I want Paul's story just to be by itself because we got to figure shit out with Paul. There's something going on. There's a mystery there. Jackson, how's your challenge going so far?
Great. Yeah, I'm having a good time with it. I am doing a lot better than I thought I originally would in our
Carson
little...
laughed at you. Is that because he's kicking ass?
No, it's because he's freaking dominating. He's fucking and he's I'm having a good time.
I know he's humble.
Yeah.
You got that from his mother.
No, but it's been good. Yeah, I finished up my sprint today, and as many of you out there can see, you can catch up in that. But it's been a good time. It's been hard, sweating inside and going from cold to extremely warm in our little cave we have here. But no, it's been a good time. Yeah.
Do you like the cave better than upstairs?
I might. I might. It's just the seclusion and the temperature down here is kind of nice. I like it, yeah.
I miss the TV, though. I mean, this is my first world problem. I do miss the larger TV and the monitor and being able to see. But that's over here, and I'm over there, and I can't turn my head left.
See, I've never...
Just rotate the...
I've always...
The TVs don't... rotate the bar?
That's not
the
attached.
table?
Yeah. You can slide the...
Yeah, I don't know
Anyway.
if I want to do
Why
that.
not? See, there we go.
I've always been on a laptop, so I'm used to it.
Yeah.
This was the first time I've actually done Zwift on a laptop, and I'm really glad my new glasses came in because I wouldn't have been able to see shit while we were riding without looking at that thing. But anyway,
It's your problem.
yeah, Jackson's crushing it, and it's been kind of fun. Paul, well, I'll get to the point. We've been doing these group meetups, which have been kind of fun. I always think of Zwift racing as this 3, 2, 1, and everybody's just
Yeah.
going completely balls out for as long as they possibly can. And if you're a human being, you drop off. You just get shelled by these people, either who are weight cheating or apparently on the U.S. rowing team or something like
German.
that. Yeah, or German. Yeah. And I just... And we did these meetups for the stages, which I thought were, I don't know if they're the fastest stages. I don't know if we're going to be the fastest on those stages, but god damn, they were fun. I enjoyed them.
It was real bike racing.
It was.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
kind of rolled out. The first time we did a group meetup, I flew out of the gates because I thought everybody else was going to. And even Roger was, oh shit, there.
That's right. I
Yeah,
got something
yeah,
from
yeah.
that.
He was there, and he was commenting that I flew out of the gate so damn fast, and then we all kind of slowed up, and people were attacking and things like that, and it was like almost like a bike race.
You were wrong. I flew out of the gate the second time.
The second
You did?
time?
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, you were.
Oh.
I was used to my old trainer.
Oh shit. Okay, so let's get straight to that, Paul. The audience doesn't know. The people listening to this show doesn't know. Well, we kind of know of your opinions on Zwift, but I don't think we all know of your curse on Zwift or what the hang-up is.
It's
or
curse
why,
in life.
Why the internet hates you or why you just don't seem to click with this format. give us a Reader's Digest version. Boy, shit, I'm old by saying that.
Yeah.
Of what the hell has been happening to you over these days?
Well, I purchased a Wahoo Snap like 3 years ago, and everybody talks about their numbers. Mine didn't coincide. I just thought, man, I'm just not as strong as I thought it was. So I've always accepted
breaks
that.
our legs on a regular basis.
And then so when we started doing, actually, I caught you before we started this whole gig on a ride, and I saw you were on a ride, and I joined up with you. And I noticed that you were doing at least half a watt per kilogram less than I am, and I know I weigh less than you do.
Yeah,
and I'm like substantially less. I mean,
yeah,
huge difference between
simply huge.
And
Wow.
So I'm like, this doesn't add up.
No shame.
And you asked, we were going downhill, and you said glide. I mean, just coast.
Yeah.
And I went backwards.
Gone.
Yeah. So I knew something was up, but how bad? Until we had our first
Group meet
race.
stage.
Yeah, group meet. And
Here.
I'm the three of us are here, and I think we can share some light. I'll save that for later. But there's some tactics talking inside the shop next to each other.
Just
The three of us had
maybe
some
a little
things
bit.
going on.
Maybe
Oh,
a
But
little bit. Yeah.
all I had was a voice because I had no legs. So,
Yeah.
but when we took off, and you guys took off on
This
that,
is Richmond, right?
Yeah, Richmond.
Yeah.
in Richmond, I was like, I couldn't move my legs. I mean, it's just like I was through quicksand. And Karsten, you said, man, it feels like just warming up. I'm going uphill. And I'm thinking, well, I feel the same.
That's how
And we
Karsten and
looked
I
at
are. It's always uphill for us.
Well, my avatar, remember, it just was clicking out of the
Yeah.
trainer
Oh,
all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
You guys are spinning, and mine's just like clipping in, clipping out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're like a toddler on one of those
Yeah.
like
Again.
Strider bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I got
kept
speed
pushing up
plays.
with
I
his
keep
feet.
pulling out. So, anyway, I think we came to a conclusion there was something wrong with the trainer.
Well, I'd hate to keep interjecting, but it's my fucking show.
Yeah, it's you're
but
do better.
we
job.
got to the climb, and that's when everybody took off, and I fucked up because I didn't have the calibration right where the computer was controlling my trainer.
He's only allowing so much percentage of effort or something.
Yeah, and so when I got to the climb, I was still going as hard as I could, but the trainer didn't increase the tension, so I couldn't accelerate on the climbs. That's my only excuse, even though it's probably 98% bullshit. But I still didn't keep up. But we got to the climb, and you were just if your trainer was not mounted, you would have tipped over.
Mm-hmm.
You were pushing so hard. It was just
Yeah.
And I hit 300 watts at that point.
yeah, and it says you're hitting 300 watts, and I know for a fact you were doing 900 at least to try and get up that fucking
I hope
climb.
so.
And we're all just going, "Oh, dude, there's something wrong with your trainer." So we fast forward.
Fast forward the very next day.
Yeah.
I call up CP on my way home with my legs shattered, saying, "Are you using your kicker?" And he says, "I haven't dusted it off yet."
He said,
No.
"Who is this?"
Yeah. I haven't dusted it off yet, but sure. So I brought it over here, and then we did the criterium.
Yeah.
And it felt 100% different. I mean, that's why I took off from the gun. It's like, whoa!
Yeah.
You know, and it was like nothing.
It's a new world.
Yeah, it is completely different.
So, and I don't want to call you out on anything, but I totally expected you to be right there with Jackson.
Yeah. Well,
Is there still some sort of is it a mental hang up? Is it
not at this point. I would say fitness is a huge
Really?
thing. Yeah, I'm not in good shape.
I guarantee
And here's
you,
the
if you
deal.
and I went out on a road ride today, you would drop my ass.
I don't know. Because I remember that stupid fucking shed just been plaguing me.
Yeah.
So, I haven't been riding. I even looked at my Strava. No, it was my least amount of riding miles in, I don't know, a decade.
Wow.
So it's that's part of it. And I'm almost fucking 58. So
That's it. I quit.
You're almost three
It's
times
like-
his age.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So when he's my age, I'll be dead.
Yeah.
That's how you look at it.
Jesus
I hate.
Christ.
I
that's
don't like
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I think it was just, there was a period there I was having fun because I thought this is a blast until I have no recovery. That was where I noticed that when Carson went off, and then Jackson, he chased down Jackson.
Yeah.
And then we were, of course, doing, you said you can close that, and I'm like, I can't. I got nothing. So I was like hanging on by a thread. It was over.
My favorite part of the Criterium stage, and this is involving Karsten, was, first of all, you started it, Karsten.
The field?
No,
You can't do that in Swift, but he did.
Yeah. No, it started off with Karsten saying on the first stage, you were like, okay, it's Rainbow Schwinn versus Arrive. And I'm like, all right, if that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. And then we got to the crit stage, and I was like, okay, guys, all I want for Christmas is to beat Karsten Hagen on this stage. And I'm telling you this, Karsten, out of complete respect, man, because you were flying on that Richmond stage. And I did a couple dummy attacks because I was like, Karsten isn't warmed up. You guys just let me go out the front and make him chase. And then at one point, you said to me, I think it was your first
Fuck
text.
you. I
Before
said,
the fuck you text, but there was something else. But then the best part of the fuck you text was the fact that with Apple AirPods, is that what they're called?
Yep.
That's how old I am.
Yeah, Jackson, he cleared.
Yeah, I had to look at Jackson. I'm here. With
here.
Apple AirPods, when you're listening to music, it takes your texts and Siri converts it to audio. So she just says, incoming text from Karsten Hagen, or something like that. Fuck you. And in the middle of the race, I was laughing my ass off because I'm going... I didn't think she could say that word, first of all. And then afterwards, Carson, you admitted that we played a little tactical game on you. And I apologize, but
you guys were owning me. Are you kidding me? Like, I couldn't do shit.
But there was...
Every time, all I had to do was think about chasing Jackson down, and it was beautiful. It was really good teamwork. And that one dude, I don't know who he was, but
Andre,
yeah.
Which is my old teammate, so I had some insight for Jackson.
Which was very helpful at that point, yeah.
We're all, by the way, all three of us are sitting next to each other, all just going, okay. Now, Jackson, when you get to this phase, you got to tap up the tempo just a little bit. We were Paul was the race director in Jackson's ear.
I will say, on our Richmond stage, Paul, you were the one that told me how to just ramp it up right on the last climb, and that's what helped me out. And then you two both reading off the times in my ear was another helpful coaching.
Coaching we had two different times, so you were probably shitting your pants.
Yeah. From my left, I was hearing 17. From my right, I was hearing 13. From in front of me, I was seeing 12. So I was like, I'm terrified about what's going to happen.
Jackson, when you came by me on the not the very last climb, but the twisty climb,
that steep Richmond one,
yeah.
I couldn't fucking believe it. Like I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to catch me and pass me, but not that fucking fast. And then that, I guess nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that little climb in the middle between the finish and the twisty climb.
That sucks.
Jack, you up to speed on all this?
It's hard.
What?
He fell asleep.
Yeah. No, I'm just giving Jack shit because, I didn't know if you knew.
The bathroom.
Exactly. Yeah, and give my wife kitchen design tips on the way up.
So hold on. Is Richmond going away?
I don't think so. I just know it's not available for the rest of this week unless you do these meetups. And by the way, I do need to mention that to everybody out there still participating. For example, today... Well, London, I don't know if is available for the next couple days. So, if you plan on doing that stage of the challenge, sorry, I get my C words mixed up, of the races I've invented. Yeah, exactly right. Wow. Yeah, if you're yeah, I didn't even think about that word. But if you can schedule a meetup. You go in and schedule a meetup, and then invite one person, Jackson?
That's what I did today, yeah. I invited you, and then I said, don't come to it.
Yeah, I blew you off.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know.
Your dad
I left him standing, man. Wow. Yeah. And then you just go and you ride the course. You can ride any course you want just by yourself. All alone. Just like I used to train all the time as a junior because I didn't have any friends. And you can do it that way. So there you go. So my questions are here about all this Zwift shit. And I don't mean to say shit because I think it's cool. I think it's a really impressive technology. What is to blame for the Zwift racing being so different in terms of the fact that we got together as a group? I don't know if it was slower or not, but it played out like a bike race. Do you blame that on the technology? Do you blame that on the ignorance of the majority of the people who are participating? Where do you take it? I mean, does anybody have an idea of why it is such a different format and why top end pros are getting shelled in this format of racing?
I would say it's a lot of the evolution of where it's gone to. I think that it's just a different thing in its own. Unfortunately, that's kind of what it is. I remember watching a video earlier on in the week that was saying that you have to be a Zwift pro, you have to be able to keep for your 5-minute power between 700 and 1,000 watts. That's a big gap, but that's huge for 5 minutes.
You gotta wear a heart rate monitor too. They look at that.
You do have to wear a heart rate monitor, yeah.
But just to be able to hold that and also not physically explode is insane.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of where it's gone, unfortunately. It happened with one person, and now everybody realizes that's what you have to do to keep up.
That's the only way to race.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, it's a different sport entirely. I mean, it's a different approach and mentality, and you have to be good at a different kind of bike race.
But Karsten, how about the guys like Rashad Bahati? Would he be a kind of guy who could excel at this format? Are crit style of racers, or is this not even that anymore?
No, I mean, Rasan works at Zwift. I'm sure he has plenty of insight. In fact, he'd be, if we can ever rope him down for an interview, he'd be a great guy to ask about this, because I think that what we're seeing is people who have never raced in real life, and they've come into this with spin class background or whatever.
I'm assuming it's a fairly large percentage, though. You wouldn't be talking about this if it wasn't 60% of the people that are successful
who are participating on this format
that are not bike racers, that have
They're
never been a bike racer, but they're really good at this.
Yeah,
And
they're fit, obviously.
Here's the other question: like, when life gets back to normal, if that ever it'll happen, and we start racing again, will Zwift have informed bike racing to the point where every crit starts at Mach 5 and doesn't ever let up, and the only people that can
Super Week.
are people that can make.
You ever been to Super Week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Super Week.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you better be warmed up.
And will those people who excelled at this online format suddenly be showing up and lining up at the USA Crit Series or something like that?
Yep.
And crashing out in the second corner.
Yeah.
but starting out blowing the field apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What about a rainy crit?
does
Love to see
that tactic play out into road? Is it a beneficial tactic? Do the two styles complement each other?
One thing that I've been seeing that's kind of interesting is yesterday, once again, my time on YouTube was...
It's problematic, and we're going to have an intervention.
Yes, exactly. I'm addicted. But it led me to watch someone who was a BMX racer, and now he said off the start line he can hit 2,000 watts, which is insane.
Jesus.
But
that is BMX, though.
Yeah.
Because the second half of a BMX race
is downhill,
is somewhat determined already by then.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cross race too.
Yeah.
Right out of the gate, you have to be at your threshold for 5 minutes, 8 minutes. I don't know, until it starts to weed out. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how cross racing is.
But kind of like bringing it back to this whole Zwift thing is, it's like we see a lot of these BMXers hit the track a lot of the times and become really well-renowned sprinters in that regard. And then I think in this format, we can see people moving onto the road. Yes, they might not have the best bike handling skills because maybe, for instance, they've never been in a pack before, which is a whole different beast in its own. But they're going to be able to physically they will be able to hold their own in that situation. I think we could see some people bring it onto the road. Was that the question?
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, Jesus.
I think one other thing that's going to happen is that, and this is especially going to be true for masters racing, where this is a real problem, is it's probably going to be the end of negative racing.
The end?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Chase down,
sit in.
I mean,
Explain to somebody who doesn't know what negative racing is.
There's two ways it manifests itself, especially in masters racing. Number one, like I don't know who was talking just now, but you described it perfectly. You know, somebody makes a move, the field welds up to them, and then just sits there.
Yeah.
Until the next move, and then they chase it down, and then they chase the next one down, and they never let anything develop to see if it's going to matter later in the race whether they stay out.
Yeah, and when you're in a really high level race like Super Week, where the front of the field is like popcorn, there's stuff going all the time for 90 minutes. That's pretty uncommon in most racing regionally, I think. The other way negative racing manifests itself, I think, is in teams, and where let's say that, let's just say, for example, Warive Raleigh and Rainbow Schwinn are in a race together, and they're both well represented, and somebody from one of the teams goes off the front, and people from the other team start chasing, but the people on the defending team just get up there and sit.
They don't send one guy up.
What are you trying to say?
That group to the pack.
What I'm saying is it's pretty common. You're missing my point. My point is that it's pretty common that that people think that that's team tactics. That blocking, quote unquote, is where somebody's trying to chase, and you go up there and you just sit on their wheel, and when they pull off, you just sit up. I mean, that's just negative racing.
Yeah.
That's not really how it should work.
Yeah.
But it's common, and I don't think that'll happen once this Zwift generation gets out on the road, because that doesn't really exist in virtual racing at all.
That's a good point.
Well, I think being a person I've never done a Zwift race, and the only group one that I've been a part of, actually been a true part of, was the crit. And to me, that was the way you race. But afterwards,
we were blown away.
You're like, this is like a real race. And I heard you, Carson, say the same thing. That was fun. It's not like a Zwift race. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? Because all you have is these guys just going full blast. There's no tactics. It's just swinging a big dick or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, I would be more interested in if races were tactically done, and that's where maybe meetup races or meetup places may alter this whole Zwift race mentality. If like groups, different teams here, even in Spokane, say, hey, let's meet up and do a race.
Yeah.
What I feel like that somebody who has never raced in a pack and does well in Zwift, one thing they're going to learn is when you're in there in a pack and you're bumping and you got cornering involved, and there's a lot of things. There's wind to keep. You take a left turn and you got a crosswind and you get caught out. There's way more variables in road racing. Like it took me like 3 laps of that crit to realize, because I had a slight delay when I put the power down.
I think that was because you were running off an iPad too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's still, I have to learn that, right?
Yeah.
If I'm going to use that as my medium, then I need to anticipate the hill before. That's the same with bike racing.
Yeah.
I didn't know the course. I didn't know how my bike was reacting. It took me 2 laps to go, here comes that hill, anticipate, get in that right gear. I mean,
okay.
So, the drawback to me in Zwifting is you got people on different trainers, there's no way they can be 100% calibrated. And there's no way, like the delay, now that my delay was slower than yours, And then remember, my times were different than your dad's.
Yeah.
And then I was getting my times, like on courses, from my Swift companion, my actual Swift time, and my Strava time are like 3 different numbers, like 45 seconds apart to a minute. So
I keep looking to Jack to make sure he's still with us.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Well, like you said, and I think you guys communicated during when you had the group, the meetups and all that.
Yeah.
That Zwifties probably aren't used to. They might not know 99.9% of the people. I'm sure they get to know how people race, but you guys all knew each other and met up.
Yeah.
That probably made a huge difference.
I do want to give credit to Allison Chauvin, by the way. Holy shit. We raced, was it New York with Allison? Was it New York? Or where was it?
It was in New
the
York,
Richmond
yes.
stage. New York, we raced with Allison. Holy shit. She put in some attacks that were absolutely crushing. And Karsten, I apologize. What is the name of the rider you recommended she come ride with us?
Christina Hughes.
She slapped me in the face on Richmond, man. I was kind of, I have to admit, part of me was looking at Jackson's screen going, okay, man, here you come up to the, oh shit. And she was gone. That was it. I couldn't catch her again, and that was over. But it's been.
She's a stud. She's very well known down here.
Yeah.
And she's won Baker City at least once, I think maybe twice. She's multiple district champion, over champion. But I'll tell you one thing. One thing that we proved tonight was it like you go in and you do, like I did New York by myself. There's no way you're going to go as fast. Tonight, for the last stage for doing Epic KOM, I was with Christina, and she's way better climber than I am. So she just sat there, I don't know, like maybe 20 meters ahead of me the whole time, and just like she was a rabbit. And
Oh wow, yeah.
And I PR'd that thing by like 3 minutes.
Wow.
You got to have somebody else there. You got to have somebody there to motivate you.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what our overall times are like. And yes, I know I'm supposed to be working on this.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, people. Just give me a break. I'm doing this for free, you fuckers.
That is called the group effect.
I'm sending you shit. Man, all you got to do is get on your bike and do what you're supposed to be doing anyways. Be nice to me. And I would like to throw this out to the listener out there, and this is a genuine thing. And I know Jackson's monitoring Podbean right now, so if you want to call in, and we'll probably take your call. But I want to know if a regular meetup would be something that people would pay attention to and follow. And we do have a caller.
We do have a
Is
caller.
this going to be something? Okay.
Is it Bruce?
We have Justin Short on the
Oh,
line.
Justin! Bring it. Put Justin on. Justin Short, are you online?
I heard a noise.
That might be his
didn't work.
punch.
Yeah, he's speaking. He might have to pot him down. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me bring him down. Let me find out which channel
Sounds
that
like
is.
the monster from Alien.
Or
Or Terminator, yeah.
No,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, something like that. Justin, you there, buddy?
Oh, it's all
Yeah, he's saying he's there. Oh, I'm bringing him down even farther.
Closer.
Talk to me, Goose.
I'm not too.
Well, Justin,
If you have a question, you can maybe type it in the chat.
type it in. I don't know if it's our connection or something like that. Well, that was an interesting experiment.
Yeah.
Now Pat has something to spend his weekends doing.
And probably some more money.
But yeah, exactly. If you out there as a listener would be interested in a group meetup, I mean, would that be something? If we put those together, would that be something interesting? I don't want it to turn into 50 people show up and it turns into a fucking Zwift race, though. I want it to be a kind of an enjoyable experience. So, I guess I'm throwing that out there. Gentlemen, we took way long to do that, so I'm going to do a truncated version. Yeah, I brought everything down. So, of the news. All right, so you guys ready for this? In the, and I quote, the word really department, in case you guys didn't know, former Italian rider Riccardo Rico has been banned for life by the Italian anti-doping authorities after being found guilty in yet another doping investigation. In 2015, Rico was accused of. You guys remember this guy, right? The
Oh,
people
yeah.
in front of me,
Yeah,
Jack.
absolutely.
I don't.
You don't know, remember
No.
Ricardo? Paul, you
Early 2000s, he was. Yeah, he was.
I'm surprised he wasn't banned back then for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's accused trying to buy EPO and testosterone after being caught red-handed with 2 dealers by the Italian police in a car park in the Tuscan town of Livorno, according to reports in Italian media. Although he no longer has a racing license, the anti-doping agency of Italy banned him for life. He was also ordered to pay a fine of 4,000 euros and 378 euros in costs. According to Rico himself, I'm going to call him Uncle Rico. I was a talented little bully, an idiot who threw away money for a career. He's suspended for 12 years, but continued to ride a bike. He was invited to take part in several... Fart. That was intentional. In several Grand Fondos, but he doped for those. So I guess when I get to this, why is this my lead story? Because I want to ask you guys, what's the point of banning somebody for life who doesn't race anymore?
Here's my big question.
Yeah.
How old is he? Our age?
No.
No, I think he's younger. I think he's younger
He's
by quite a
probably
bit. Yeah.
mid, late 30s.
Okay, so what?
So, yeah, he's our age.
Yeah.
What self-respecting middle-aged guy gets busted by the police in a parking lot for anything other than cocaine?
Hookers.
Oh, yeah.
Forgot about
So what
fucking
the fuck?
hookers.
Like, come on. Like, dude, have some,
Dignity.
really? EPO? Come on.
Yeah. Maybe he was selling it on the street.
I think his girlfriend was a mountain biker, an Italian mountain biker that also was busted for drugs.
They run in
Yeah.
packs.
And I think the original bust, he was in that. Gosh, what was the name of the? They had an ugly kit that it was yellow.
Yeah, the Horner Road
Yellow
for him.
kid?
Yeah, well,
Horner Road for him.
of course it did. But
Karsten, just shut up.
yeah, so
Homer Simpson? Was it Homer Simpson?
but yeah, he's not worth a breath, really.
But will the Lance supporters see any similarities?
No.
Why not?
Not at all.
Supporters of Lance are gonna with Rico.
There's
Yeah.
No, there's
He
no
got busted for
comparison.
drugs.
Yeah, no comparison in
no.
There isn't.
in
You guys see the same thing?
cycling. So the crime, yeah. I mean, but they're two totally different lives. I mean, there's huge success, huge burying people under your lies. I mean, they can't even write the same book. Drugs is the only common denominator between the two.
Should cyclists who get caught continue to benefit from their careers?
By books and movies,
They're gonna.
or
I mean, there's really no way to enforce that.
Yeah,
I love the
agree.
idea, but
like as a private citizen, they're going to take
No,
your.
in the cycling world.
Well, I don't. Like to expand on Carson's deal. There's no way you can
It's okay.
control.
Jackson's pouring a beverage.
There's no way you can control what they do outside of cycling and stuff. You just can't do that. And I don't think anybody does drugs with the idea that they're going to make money selling a book.
Yeah.
So, all you have to do is not buy the book, and then the guy's in the hole. If you have a problem with it. So,
Well,
freedom of choice.
Ricardo's apparently in the ice cream business. Just in case you guys wanted to know.
I might get some sent my way.
He's got an
I could
ice cream
use-
parlor, but recently returned to Italy and now actually is producing ice cream. So I just want to
Gelato.
know. I want to know. Well, it says ice cream. I want to know what the performance enhancing benefits of said ice cream are.
You eat
Maybe
one
faster
scoop of ice cream and you
churn.
just
Yeah.
all your red blood cells are just flowing.
Yeah.
Whoa! Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Second story: A New Hope. The organizers of the USA Crit Series of Elite Criteriums named 9 host cities for 2021.
Excellent.
With the bulk of racing shifting to July, August, and September as hopes that the new COVID-19 vaccine will end the pandemic that shuttered, obviously, our 2020 season. New calendar puts the historic Athens Twilight Crit, regularly held in April, to August 21st, which should be a kind of an interesting shift for that one, around the first day of classes at the University of Georgia. So get ready for beer to be flowing on that one. Other major changes include the shift in the Birmingham Hammerfest in Alabama to August 14th, the Winston-Salem Classic from May to September, with the second day of racing added on the 25th for international teams, in addition to the Winston-Salem Classic the next day. So there are all kinds of stuff like that. My first question is, anybody up for a road trip? Thoughts on actual racing on the U.S. calendar next year? And I don't mean, I'm just being generic because the pessimistic Pat Bulger just wants to leap out of his skin and say we're all fucked.
Till August.
Yeah, I would like to know everybody's optimistic, maybe, views on bike racing in 2021.
I think we're on the verge of something very positive at the moment, which I'm keeping my fingers crossed with.
Yeah.
But I would love to see some sort of racing come back, whether it's locally or around the country. I'm just happy that some sort of progress is being made to maybe possibly have us back out there racing bikes in person without masks. I think that'd be a really special thing right now. I can feel my heart warming and growing 3 sizes because I would really love that.
Says the
I
kid.
I agreed, but I think we're talking August and September. I think.
Do you?
From what I can garner from NPR, et cetera, that by the time they get this out to everybody plus the booster shot, it's going to be late summer.
What about time trials? I mean,
Yeah.
you could mask stand yourself, no holder, all by yourself, 2-minute intervals.
Yeah.
Well, it's the only kind of bike we have in stock. So great.
Is it really?
Willing to make a deal?
Let's promote.
Yeah, exactly. Let's make a deal. All right, you guys, I'm gonna drop things a little bit of a bomb on you, and this leads directly into our topic for the show. This is actually a story that I wanted to read, and then I wanted to take it directly into the topic, and I apologize in advance. In case you didn't hear, 5 cyclists are dead, and several were injured after a box truck hit their group on Thursday in a horrific tragedy that unfolded outside of Las Vegas just recently. A group of cyclists were riding and had a Subaru hatchback safety car assigned to tail them when they were hit about 9:30 a.m. on southbound US 90, Highway 95 near mile marker 36, whatever, according to the Nevada Highway Patrol. A southbound truck, and I'm using quotes, entered into the group of cyclists. Some of them were traveling behind the safety vehicle. They were struck. The safety vehicle was also struck, as well as some bicyclists in front of the vehicle. A gigantic tragedy. And before I get to the topic here, I'd like to, I guess, moment of silence and a toast to the cyclists we lost. That being said, I do want to say that I constantly hear of cyclists choosing gravel, choosing mountain bikes, or even Zwift for their cycling passions, opting to leave the road altogether due to increasing danger on the roads. Recently, I saw a video of Chris Froome out in the hills of the Los Angeles area riding with a flashing taillight, something I personally never considered using. Taillights are now equipped with radar to let riders know when a car is approaching. People all around the world, we can all probably agree, are more selfish. They're pissed off and they're completely unconcerned for their fellow human beings than I can ever recall in my adult life. I know this is supposed to be a lighthearted and a fun podcast, but I want to ask, first of all, it's to you guys as a panel of people who've ridden bikes for a good majority of their lives. What's changed? What's going on? What the fuck is going on?
This is purely an accident, though.
But yeah, it was. But I'm hearing and reading far too many of these stories lately of this horrible shit happening and road rage and stuff like that. What's changed, or has anything changed? Are we just being fed more information?
That's one. I think information.
I think you're totally valid there.
Yeah.
And I think too the temperate of the world right now is so divided. I mean, it's either hot or cold. And I don't know if there's an answer for that. Somebody's like, damn cyclists. And And I'll share a little story. It was years ago, even with CP and I were out on a ride way out at Cheney. We're coming in, it was in March, and we needed to get some food. We went into the store, local store, clomping along in our cleats, and we went past this guy, and he said, "I hate those motherfuckers," and that's what he pointed to both CP and I as we're getting our power pies. I'm like, whatever. We happened to get in line when we grabbed our power pies, and he was in front of us checking out, talking local talk at the cashier, and he said he looked at us when he checked out. He grabbed his bags and he goes, "I hit one of you son of a bitches before, and I didn't kill him. That was my big mistake," and walked out.
Fuck.
And CP and I are like, no, he goes, "I hate you cyclists." And CP says, "Well, I hate fat people." And then he said, and he just kind of like blew it off.
Yeah.
That was a good comeback. But then he
That
says,
was great.
yeah. And so then
I gotta
he
meet this
just took
guy.
off.
CP's good at this shit.
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't take credit for it. He
Yeah.
is good at this shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we actually passed him going through Cheney, and I waved.
Wow.
He didn't take us out.
Shit.
So we can't ever solve that problem.
No, there's belligerent people
Yeah.
that are ignorant, and then, like I said before, you're talking about an accident, and I think the person that is going to track you down to intimidate you with a car is a major problem. They're also likely to intimidate you with a gun or your life, basically. But the roads have gotten way busier. Like in the last 20 years, there's just more cars on the road. There's more congestion. There's more construction than ever.
Another opinion I have about it is, I definitely get the feeling of all this kind of this hectic nature of being on the road. Living for most of the year in a pretty large metropolitan city, I've got to ride on some pretty busy roads. Some highways where big semi trucks are flying by at 45 miles an hour. And in this type of situation, I don't want to place any blame on anyone, but I definitely get where the fear comes from, and I also think that in these type of situations, I think if you want to do whatever you want to make you feel the safest is the best. If you want to put a rear taillight on, that's perfect, because unfortunately, drivers are going to see that, and I think that if you are worried about other people judging you for your light, who cares?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we
Or
got
a third eye.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin.
I'm just saying.
But the thing is, on those
Love you,
things,
buddy.
Yes, they may be what typical cyclists would traditionally call dorky, but if you're going out and you feel safe, not looking over your shoulder and rather looking up there, or having lights all over your bike, then who the hell cares? Unfortunately, we do have we are a very visual and appearance based a sport in a lot of ways.
There's a style and there's a fashion.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you feel safe, do that, because at the end of the
save a life.
exactly. And I know the cliche is used all the time, but at the end of the day, if you're home, that's what matters.
Have any of you guys ever considered those equipment changes? Those rear tail lights, those
Been riding with a taillight for
You do?
with a taillight for 5 years.
Still do?
no shame.
Still do, Carson?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
And I actually had a Garmin one, the radar one. And
Yeah.
it fell off and destroyed itself a few years ago. And
Do you think the radar went off right before it hit the ground?
possibly?
I don't remember after that. But
the light itself, it could speak, went, fuck! It's coming!
The end is near.
I've ever got down here. Everybody rides a good taillight. It's just part of the deal. It's kind of weird to not have one. Middle of summer, middle of the day.
Really? I have.
Yeah,
I haven't considered it until the last week or two.
now, I have no problems if somebody. I don't like riding in a pack where if
You're
you
just
get in the
staring
back
at it.
and it's just.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
yeah.
only thing I have a problem
It's
with.
terrible.
But
Yeah.
outside of that, so I just ride up front then.
Yeah.
That's what I'll need to do.
There you go. Yeah.
We need a
solves
switch
that problem.
where you turn it on, turn it off. As you get to the back, you're back
There you
on.
go. You reach down and turn it off.
How about the concept of the people who are considering a shift to just gravel? My buddy John Galloway of the Velocast has actually been making comments that he's just like, he's over in Scotland, and he's like, do I want to go out and risk not coming home, or do I want to just go out and ride some gravel roads and be out in the middle of nowhere and have a great time and then come home?
One of our fans who is a great lover of gravel, Brent Soderbergh, is kind of getting involved here, and he's telling us that
hey, Brent.
Yeah, hey, he's saying maybe it's just East Coast, but everyone rides with blindly lights here. Lots of winding roads in shaded conditions. It's a very good point, and I think I do get the draw to gravel in a lot of ways because it is more secluded. I know that one of your previous guests, Laura King, has kind of mentioned about that, how it feels much less busy, and kind of that idea of getting home at the end of the day is very attractive in that sport.
It's funny. Somebody said this earlier, and I'm going to preface this by saying that the guy that Paul and CP ran into at the gas station.
He lives on the gravel road.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think that the comment to him about being a fat person probably changed his life, and he walked away from that meeting thinking to himself, gosh darn it, I've got to change my ways.
Oh, no. Yeah, they're right. God, you're right. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
Didn't become a fucking after-school special or something like that.
That's not what happened, and that guy just went away even angrier, probably fatter. What this points to is there's this cultural divide in this country that ain't going away, and it's just getting worse. And is it going to make me want to ride gravel all the time? No, because I love riding the road, and I've got a death wish, so I'm going to do it anyway. But what we're seeing in terms of sales in my industry, for fuck's sake, definitely points to the fact that more people are buying gravel bikes.
Yeah.
And they're riding the road to get to and from gravel more than any, but they're riding gravel, and that's the way racing's going. And you're going to have events in a really controlled environment like crits, but I think we're going to see less and less road racing per se and stage racing, and we're going to see more gravel racing for sure. We've had this discussion on this podcast lots of times.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that, at least around here, gravel roads equal farmland, and we still have a substantial amount of farmland. So when the farmers are busy, they're not used to people on that road. So I forewarn people, you don't want to be diving into a farm implement. Even in the RVP, the Ron Von Palouse, that race, there's a couple of times I've been in that race, and there's a guy with a big, huge swather, coming down the road, and it's like you can hear the radio buzz. They're like, officials will pull over single file neutral. Here comes a tractor. So
my wife was born and raised in North Idaho, and when we were dating, I would go to see her in her hometown, and she would say, "Do not stop and ask for." No, she would say, "Do not stop at a house and ask for help. If you flat, they will shoot you." She said to me, well, "This is the land of Ruby Ridge, where all that stuff is, and Falcon and the Snowman shit."
And they all play banjos.
No, not necessarily, and most of them have teeth, but it was that kind of thing, and it was like, don't go there; they will not take you in. Do you guys still feel comfortable on the road?
Absolutely.
Nothing's changed.
Yep.
No?
Totally.
Yeah.
When I ride, I feel totally comfortable.
Yeah. So
last year,
you felt comfortable last January.
I did almost go off the road on that ride.
That was great.
My rain jacket. But I'm getting ready for that ride this year.
All right.
Game on. We changed, and I don't remember which group when we were younger changed our the way we dealt with belligerent cyclists. Instead of flipping them off or beating up their car at the next stoplight, we pretty much started waving like they were our friend. Like, oh, hey, And
I didn't see you there, buddy. Yeah.
And that was probably, at least in my mind, the best way to maybe change somebody, that
Really? I always did it because I knew it would make them more mad because they weren't mad because I didn't get mad at them in return.
You can't do it with a sarcastic smile on your face.
Yeah.
There isn't anything we can do, whether it's waving or it's going to change these people's mind. Let's be realistic.
Except the float only thing 8 feet above the ground so they can just drive under us. It's serious. That's where we are. Yeah.
But I think when you meet, because I've had people in my trade and also in the past were like, "Are you a cyclist? I can't. Why do you guys ride in the middle of the road?"
Yeah.
And all I can say is, well, I understand your beef. Not all of us do that. I mean, you just try and de-escalate that whole that all cyclists ride in the middle of the road and they're dickheads. Yeah, there's a bunch of them, and you know, and you can find that in any group.
I was in Marin year before last. I was working and I was between meetings, and I was driving down Mount Tam, and just taking the scenic way, and I got swarmed by a bunch of, you know, roadies at a stop sign, and they swarmed me and didn't give a fuck about the stop sign and didn't care about me, and there's about 40 of them, and you know.
Did you tell them who you are?
I said, I'm Jackson Bolger, and
I can beat all of you.
Damn it! I said, I leaned out the window. I said, "You're not doing us any favors."
Yeah.
You know, and the guy looked all indignant at me, but like we need to be, us as a group, we need to be much better at this kind of stuff.
You hit the nail on the head, man, because let he without sin cast the first stone, and we are just fucking it up for ourselves too. A lot of us are, and it's not getting any better. So, all right, you guys, thanks for that. That was my serious topic. So, but with my remaining time, we're going to get to the fun part.
Let's play a game.
But before we do, ladies and gentlemen, are you looking for the ultimate stocking stuffers for this holiday season? Well, look no further, because our sponsors, Manscaped, have the tools to make you win this year's stocking stuffer or white elephant competition. Manscaped is the only brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming and hygiene products, and great news, they just released their products across Europe, Canada, and Australia. And in case you were looking for some shit to buy, some good ass shit, well, good balls shit, check out, by the way, the crop cleanser. I've been giving that away to people constantly. I think all you guys have a bottle of crop cleanser, don't you guys?
Yeah.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not for your nuts. It's for your big nut, the one on top of your head, and your butt. And now I've been using it all over. My whole body smells like my balls. It's it's full body wash that you can also use in your hair. No, it's great stuff, man. It's beautiful. They make crop mop ball wipes. You never know when an opportunity strikes. You should always be prepared.
That's a good idea.
Right?
Like if you get hit by a car, you got to go to the hospital smelling better.
You want your nuts to smell better than your shaving.
Yeah.
Foot duster, foot deodorant designed to keep the stankiest feet smelling fresh. I'm just reading copy because I wouldn't have usually said stanky. So you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com if you use the promo code PFP. That is P as in pack, F as in filler, P as in podcast. What were you going to point at?
Carson, he should.
Karsten?
Yeah, he should be saying what the code is.
You should be saying the code. Haven't you, Karsten? Yeah, at this point.
What? Huh?
Whether this is for your partner, dad, brother, or friend, get them something that they will actually use and is almost sure to get a laugh at those gift exchanges, because it does make a laugh, but we all need to take it a little bit more seriously. Get 20% off once again and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code PFP. Gentlemen, let's have some fun. I downloaded a new sound effect, okay? This is our pub background. Okay. I'd like to welcome you all to the Packfiller Bar. You're all members of the Packfiller Bar and Grill. All right? What you're going to be doing is we're going to name the signature drinks at the Packfiller Bar today. Okay? The bartender's been busy coming up with new creations to keep you all coming back to lose any type of fitness, suck down those calories, and get slower than Pat Bulger, because that's his training program. So here in the Packfiller Bar, obviously our signature drinks are named after very popular bicycle racers, especially popular bicycle racers of 2020. All right, so what I'd like you all to do is, no, I'll get to you in a minute. I just so many customers here. So I'd like you guys to be able to maybe come up and identify the name of the drink that I described to you by the ingredients, using riders of very prominent nature of 2020 or within the cycling world. Okay, so I'm going to read out the menu to you guys. So the first person who wants it will just simply call out by saying, "Bartender, I'll have a," and then you're going to say the name of that particular drink. Okay? So our first round, should you care, is a round of champagne to celebrate something special in your life, but the server drops them at your feet before arriving at the table.
Bartender?
Yeah?
I'd like a, trying to think of his name. Second in the tour. I just drew a blank.
Bartender, I'd like to have a Primo's Roglic.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm sorry, we're fresh out of that, which means you're incorrect. So,
Bartender, I would like a Julian Alaphilippe.
Karsten Hagen,
Yeah.
order coming your direction of round of Julian Alaphilippe's. I'm putting KH next to that one. Next off, if any of you guys would be interested, we have a shot of English gin that actually turns out to be tap water.
Bartender.
Yes?
Could I have Chris Froome?
Yes, Jack Broadhead. Oh God, you and Jackson have the same initials. That's fucked up.
JHB.
JHB. Okay.
Howard.
JHB. All right, there's our second drink. Okay, gentlemen, should you be interested, we have a wonderful shot of decaf Italian espresso. Why bother?
Bartender, I'd like to have a Vincenzo Nibali.
Jackson Bulger, you're too young to be drinking in my establishment, but you will have a shot of Vincenzo Nibali coming up.
I'm too young.
That's 50 plus bar. Next on the menu, we have a pint of Guinness that the server smashes into your front teeth.
Bartender, I'd like
Yeah.
a Bennett.
What?
Sam Bennett.
Bartender, I'd like a Sean Yates.
Sean Yates
This
is
is not
British.
No.
Bartender, I'd like to have a shot of Dan Martin, please.
Dan Martin. You guys, I think
Finish it.
Jackson Bulger was the only one who heard the teeth joke.
That was
Yeah.
good.
No, we are too.
See, yeah.
You're all too quick. Next on our menu, we have a mix of scotch, beer, wine, and champagne all mixed into one glass. But actually, you know what? It goes great with everything.
I'll have a Jim Okowitz.
Yeah, Jim Ockwitz. That was actually pretty good. But I'm sorry, that's not the menu.
Say it again.
We have a mix of scotch, beer, wine, and champagne. Actually, it goes great with everything.
Bartender, I'd like to have a shot of Wout van Aert.
Wout van Aert for Jackson Bulger.
Trying to
Goes
find the
great with
connection.
everything. It's everything mixed into one. The guy kicks ass and everything.
Got it.
Right?
I get it.
I see the
it.
connection.
Yeah. Next one is an actual real drink. Gentlemen, would you like it's a mixture of gin, avocado liquor, lemon juice, and apple juice, also known as Dutch Courage.
Bartender, I would like to have an Anna van de Bregen.
I'm sorry, that's not the drink I'm trying to sell you there, Sparky. All right, that buzzer tells us we're out of time on that one, but that was what actual Jackson Bulger was starting with.
Yeah,
Annemiek
and
van
if,
Vleuten.
It's the Annemiek van Vleuten because
they're
she's
broken
Dutch.
wrists.
Yeah, she was broken.
Yeah.
Dutch Courage.
Yep.
See how I did that? We're getting lower on the menu, gentlemen.
No.
I would like to ask if anybody would be interested in a glass of tomato juice brought to you in a broken glass and then thrown in your face. Carson's face is just like, the fuck? Okay, so nobody apparently wants a Chloe Dygert.
Oh, man.
Man.
Dude. That's terrible, but so fucking good. Have you guys seen the photos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. The throw in your face was in tribute to her social media accounts, too. But anyway. Next on the menu, gentlemen, we have a drink you had in the 90s but will never drink again.
Barrels and James.
Bartender,
Bartender, may
Bartender, I would like to have an Alejandro Valverde.
Say it again.
If you'd be interested, we have a drink you have had in the 90s but will never drink
Bartender.
again. Yeah.
I would like a Lance Armstrong.
I'm sorry, that's not the name of this dish. Karsten was funny with the Bartles and James,
Yeah.
but I should almost give him a half a point for that. Paul Main, you're last. Would you
I
like
have no idea.
a nice tall glass of Ricardo Rico?
I knew that was coming up. God
See, that's what we
dang
call
it.
a callback
Yeah,
joke in the
I
world
knew
of
that was
comedy.
coming up. I was
Yeah.
expecting a
close with the
limoncello
drugs.
or something.
Drugs.
I was close to the drugs. The 90s.
It counts.
Gentlemen, we have 3 drinks left on our menu. Number 8 is a beer served with a shot of Mexican hot sauce. Drink it all, and you get a Medal of Honor.
Oh, bartender, I would like to have a Greg LeMond.
Jackson Bulger is the guy who really doesn't drink that much, but he's kicking ass.
What's the Mexican part?
He likes Mexican food. He
likes
always
it.
loved Mexican food. Always loved Mexican food. Second to last, gentlemen, a 12-ounce glass of bitters.
Cavendish. Bartender, I'll have a Mark Cavendish.
Oh, God!
You're not gonna get-
bad.
That's not it, but that's good. That is good.
Bartender, I'll have a Egan Bernal.
I'm going to give you guys all points for that, but actually, gentlemen, unless anybody else has one, big, tall glass of bitter.
Tall glass.
Oh,
You didn't
No,
say
I didn't mean
before.
tall. I said a 12-ounce
All right.
glass of bitter.
All right.
Hey, lady,
bartender,
relax.
I'll have a Tom Dumoulin.
Tom's not bitter. Yeah. Apparently, nobody wants to drink a Lance Armstrong tonight.
Oh,
Fuck,
okay.
I asked for Lance Armstrong 2 minutes ago.
You did, but that wasn't this. It wasn't the 12-ounce glass of bitters.
That should be sours.
Yeah. Finally, gentlemen, last drink on our menu. We have 23 shots of beer, but the last one, however, is steel malt liquor, and you have to drink it regardless. 23 shots, and the 24th one is shit.
Oh.
Oh, wait, gentlemen. 23 shots.
Oh,
Bartender will have a Primus Roglic.
Karsten Hagen comes through with a Primoz Roglic, which
how many
is
wins he
sense.
had with a failure?
the win. Karsten Hagen will finish the round with 2. Did you get
No,
any?
none.
Paul got none.
This is
Jackson
not my
Bulger coming through with 1, 2, 3, 4. The irony
Wow.
I know.
that Jackson knows how to order at a bar.
Yeah.
The irony is what we shall all
He
go
just
down
knows the Pro Peloton
in history.
really well.
Yeah, he does.
Well, let's be raised
But
it.
I think, Paul, you probably know better than anybody.
It's a
I mean,
correlation to a drink,
yeah.
you know, because I just drink beer and wine. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's
Well, let's exit the door of the bar, and we are out of the Packfiller bar. And I should have stopped that cue a little earlier to make it more authentic, but I didn't. Fuck.
So pro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, that has brought us to the end. I know Carson's got to go to an Obra meeting, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So be sure and get discussion with those guys about how people over here can continue to license races through them. Oh, sorry. Was that against you, Zach? I couldn't tell.
Can you see my face?
Yeah. You're like, ooh, shit. I won't touch that one. And for all the listeners out there, you guys, I promise. Thank you, Justin, for being technically a caller, and I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that immediately so our callers can participate in the show. Thank you, people, for texting and dropping in notes. Jackson is monitoring that as we do the live shows. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us live. We are on Podbean. We are on YouTube, and I think that's it. Be sure and it's not too late to technically participate in the challenge. Jack, you can go out and shell out for a new trainer.
You can actually. I'll give them mine.
Yeah,
there we go.
you're good to go, man. You're good to
You'll
go.
enjoy it. I promise.
Fucking done with this shit.
Can I
Yeah,
say something?
please do.
This stage race, this virtual cycling classic, was the most fun I've had on Zwift probably ever.
Excellent.
It was a lot of
Zwift
fun.
should be paying Pat.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that. It was It was a lot of fun, and I think we should do it again.
I agree, man. And by the way, in case you guys haven't been paying attention, we've got incredible support. And I'm not saying this to kiss ass, Karsten, from Giant Bicycles and Liv, also heavily involved in all this. Our friends at Gooder, we've got swag we're going to be giving away on a constant basis, and of course. Last but not least, Manscaped, the people at Manscaped, somebody's going to be getting a $300 grooming package for free. So thanks to all those guys for keeping involved with this.
No one's called me out yet.
And nobody has said hi from Ohio to Paul Main yet.
I did it. No, that's not true. I did it during the crit.
But nobody you knew.
You're all right.
in.
All right. I'll
okay.
Just to get the ball rolling.
We'll send Karsten a pair of gritters.
And I'll fashion them on my dog Flanders.
Yeah, Flanders puts his footprint on the box, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. And I've got swag to be able to hand out to people and to the people who've been involved with the race and participating and having fun with us. God, thank you. I want to do more of these. And Karsten, it's great to hear that people are having fun. And so, it's not that difficult to do. Maybe on a one-off basis, not this fucking 2 weeks of shit, But hey, I set this shit up for myself, so it's my own fault. We've got one show left in the year. Right? No, 2. Do we have 2 shows left in the year? We're doing the one before Christmas next week, and then that's it, right?
Yeah.
Shit. By the way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Big things coming in the new year. There we go. Thank you, gentlemen, everybody, for being a part. Karsten, missed you, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Hi, Karsten.
Quit kicking my ass, Jackson.
Follow us on Instagram if you want to stay updated in between shows.
Absolutely. Jackson is my new social media manager, and he's kicking serious ass. So when you're responding to Instagram, it's not me. Be nice to him. He'll beat you on the bike.
I just heart you guys. That's all, and I don't comment too much.
You heart?
I heart you.
It helps a lot.
We love you too, Jack. You're a good person. I don't care what everybody else says. All right, thanks, guys.
Night.
Night.